Both my parents highly valued education. One of the reasons Dad was on the University Council was he thought that the education at all levels was very important. Dad had been dux at Fort Tree High School in Sydney and awarded a free place at Sydney University in medicine, but it was the Depression. His father was out of work and he was the older son, and he was expected to provide income for the family. So he worked in the Commonwealth Public Service and did economics at night at Sydney and then a diploma of public administration. At John Rose's retirement dinner that Mum and I attended, John mentioned that Dad had been on the panel that selected him, and that in the early days of the School of Management, how important it was to have this lectureship so that they could invite lecturers with expertise and experience from overseas to come and work at the school, often for a few months, and so to provide another input and another area of learning, often, to the school, and that had been very valuable right from the beginning. So I think he really was a great leader, and I think he was actually a great nation builder, but he was very modest within himself. I think she felt that she didn't want his legacy to just stall or to not be recognised in some way. So with their interest in education, I think she headed towards the university as a starting point, and it proved to be a very valuable starting point. Well, I was very lucky enough to often come with Mum, and so I met these people as well and also found them interesting. But I'm also keen to see, since her death, that it continues.
The work I do is spread across Melbourne Business School and Melbourne Medical School here at the University of Melbourne. I work on the same topics because they're relevant both in business and in medicine. I work on decision making. So here it's decisions about business decisions and things like that, and I talk about decision making biases that can get in the way of managers making good decisions. Over at the medical school, it's clinical decision making. So, what are the biases that can get in the way when doctors are making diagnostic decisions or treatment decisions? But the other area that I work in for both organizations is leadership and resilience, and how to deal with adversity in your organization or even personally. What are some resilience tools that you can use to be more resilient? An area that I especially look at and pay attention to, and I'm doing research on in the medical school, is coping with a medical error. When a doctor makes a mistake, either through a diagnostic error or a treatment error, how do they then cope with the aftermath of that error? We lose junior doctors to suicide in this state, in Victoria. And so helping them work with the notion that everybody's going to make mistakes, even in high stakes environments, and how can we cope with that to go on to become better and better clinicians. So that's one area where the resilience work, I think, it really taps into that. If I can help someone be a better junior doctor or a better business person and cope with the difficulties that life could bring, that's really rewarding to me.
The biodesign innovation subject was originally conceived by Stanford University just over a decade ago, when it was seen that there was a need to develop medical technologies to solve clinical needs. I think a vital part of the course is the collaboration between the biomedical engineering students and the MBA students. This is partly because of the different expertise that the two groups of students have, and putting them together in a team achieves more than the students could achieve separately.
We partnered with Dr. Christiane Tedder from the Royal Women's Hospital, who was absolutely fantastic in giving us access to the NICU and helping us identify what she thought were a range of different problems.
The new device Nevi is developing will help the operator at the time of placement to get some easy to interpret real-time feedback of where the catheter tip is while the catheter is being advanced. So this is a new concept using ECG transmitted through the catheter. So this will not only hopefully increase the success rates, but also save time and money, but more importantly also decrease the stress for the newborns undergoing the procedure and potentially reduce the radiation for catheter when the catheter position is being checked.
We started off with a little bit of equity from the founders, so that was around about $15,000. But since then we probably won another in the order of $120,000 to $150,000 through different prizes. And recently we were accepted into the first cohort for the MedTech Actuator, which is Australia's largest medical device accelerator program, which comes with some seed funding, which will really help us in 2018 as we progress our idea.
Our end vision is to create this medical device that can really help save the lives of these newborns. You know, there's 1.1 million misplaced or migrated catheters in the world. It's over a $650 million problem. And for us to really be given the opportunity to help these babies across the world, it's been phenomenal for us, really.
I think Nevi as a company also has the potential to probably go beyond this initial goal and establish themselves and make a mark as a young Australian biomedical device company.